Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. I want to quickly talk to you about some things that we're seeing in the market right now when it comes to debt collectors. Debt collectors are starting to sue people for lower amounts of debt, which was something that they kind of got away from. But I think that the strategy that they're attempting to utilize is, if it costs a certain amount of money to respond to a court summons, maybe the individual that's being sued will not respond, or they will just show up to court and have no affirmative defense against the debt collection company, and they will automatically win or get a default judgment to win the case. And just so you know, let me tell you something that happens. Let me tell you something that happens that kind of confuses people when it comes to getting a default judgment when a debt collector sues you in court, is that a debt if you do not respond to the court summons, you will see that the debt collection company will put in a motion for default judgment. And you might be saying, well, how can they get a motion for default judgment? They're getting they're putting in that motion because you never did respond to the court summons. So before I get into responding to court summons some of the other things that I'm seeing with court summons, like the one that I got in my hand right here, I want to really alert you about this one. So be aware that what they're doing is they're starting to file cases in for lower amounts. For years, I haven't seen any under $1,500, maybe every once in a while $800. But I just had one that came through that was $600. I think it was $600 something, and I'm thinking to myself, they're taking this person to court for $600 something, and they know that it's going to cost a certain amount, especially to use a service like ours. It's going to cost a certain amount to even have that responded to, and even if you use one of the online services that I do not recommend, even if you use one of those, it's going to cost you, $200, $250 to respond. And then we're not even getting into the realm of trying to get an attorney to pay them $1,500 or $2,500, and then you're going to have them try not to have you have to pay a $600 something court case, debt collection court amount. It just doesn't make sense. So it looks like this is a strategy that they're trying to put together, put in action. Please like this video right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That'll help this algorithm. That's what we're in, this algorithm deal. So please like this video right now. You know that all the information that I give you is correct. So what I want to do is I want to run through a court summons that came through yesterday. And I must admit, from this individual, I did not believe it when he talked to me about it. He had submitted his information, or submitted a live chat message. And if you ever want to communicate with us, and you can go to live chat, I usually would do most of the responses in there, and I do have another employee that will respond. But anything that deals with debt collection lawsuits, I do the responses in there. Anything with credit repair, my employees will respond to those. So I was going back and forth with this gentleman, and he said that he is being sued for debt that is past the legal statute of limitations to collect. And I said that would be a total violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. They cannot sue you. They have no legal remedy for a debt that's past legal statute of limitations. And so I looked at it when he sent it over to me, and I'm like, this debt is past the legal statute of limitations to collect. It was from the original creditor, and it was for a repossession, and according to the documents that they sent over, this is their own documents from the original creditor, their own documents. It stated that the vehicle, it was a notice of sale, plan to sell property. This is something that they have to do when they repossess a vehicle. They have to notify the individual who had the vehicle that was repossessed, that they're going to sell it at a private auction. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, what is the date of that private auction? The private auction was 2015. It was 8/10 of 2015. So they sold the vehicle at that time, and then they came back for the deficiency amount. The deficiency amount is what is owed on a repossessed vehicle minus what was, they minus the amount that the car was sold. And then that deficiency balance is sent to the individual, that where either they're going to sell it to a debt collector or the original creditor will still come after the individual for that amount. And so when I got this document, I'm like, the vehicle was sold. The letter that they sent for the notice plan to sell the property was 7/31/2015. They sold the property at auction 8/10 of 2015. They're suing this individual. He just got the summons at the end of last month, October of 2023. The state that he lives in, the statute of limitations is 4 years. So immediately what I did is I was like, okay, the bank that made the loan is in another state. And I was like, if it's in another state, let's just double check what's the statute of limitations for that state. It was still past the legal statute of limitations for that state. And then I said, okay, let me just check another thing, just to dot my I's and cross all my T's. What does it say from that notice of plan to sell property? What is the address of the individual? What is the state that they sent that letter to? It was the state that had the 4-year statute of limitations. So this original creditor knows well and good that this debt is past the legal statute of limitations to collect, and that they have had an attorney bring a case for a debt that is past the legal statute of limitations to collect in that state, and technically in the state that they have, that the original creditor is in. Now, so you might be saying, okay, Steve, if the debt is past legal statute of limitations, all I have to do is just send them a notification, like you've always said, that they cannot collect on this debt because it's past legal statute of limitations. Wrong. You still have a requirement by the courts to respond to the court summons. So you would need to go through the same process of answering each allegation on the court summons, and then in your affirmative defense, you would put that this debt is past the legal statute of limitations, or quote, time barred period to collect according to the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. And this will get this case dismissed with prejudice, because there is no legal remedy that they were not even supposed to take this to court. So this individual could ask for a remedy of a violation according to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. That is up to them to do that. So that's what you would actually do, but you have to respond. So mistake number one that I see a lot of people do is they get sued by a debt collector, or they get sued by a debt collection attorney working for a debt collector or working for the original creditor. And then what they do is they do a debt validation. And they say, well, why didn't they respond to my debt validation when I did that? The reason why they didn't respond is because you didn't respond appropriately to the court summons. If you get summons to court, you have to respond to the court summons, and you put your debt validation within the court summons. And then you put your affirmative defense together in that. So you're thinking the right way, but you have everything out of order. If a debt collection company sends you a demand letter, the demand letter to pay a debt, that's when you do the debt validation at that point, because it's that they have to respond to it at that point. But if you get a court summons where they summons you to court, you do the debt validation within your court summons response. So I want to be clear on that, because I get a lot of chat messages and comments in the YouTube comment section where they say, well, I got a court summons and I did a debt validation and they didn't respond to me, and now I got this notice motion for default judgment, and I've been responding to them with a debt validation. They didn't respond. That the reason why is because you didn't do the proper response with the proper document. If they summons you to court, you have to do the debt validation and your response to all the allegations and your affirmative defense. That's when you do that. If they just sent you a demand for collection on a debt, then you do that debt validation. All right, I hope you got it there. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Post your questions and comments. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at creditrepairshop.com. Watch video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit report scores, go to the website, your3scores.com, the number 3, .com, the number 3, your3scores.com. And the links are below this video also. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, grab my 3-pack of letters. The statute of limitations letter would have worked on this one because I'm pretty sure they sent the demand letter before this. My cease and desist collection activities letter, debt validation letter, and statute of limitations letter. They're all free, but I do ask for a donation. It can help you save time, money, and frustration. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the Credit